Good morning, all of you. So today's class will discuss about the radiation pressure and the matter waves. These are very small topics. Some formulas are there, and some radiation pressure. If you say some formulas are there, then some integration problems will come. Numerical will come. At the most, you can expect one objective. Matter waves is about the conceptual thing. That one. So initially, first we'll focus on like the wave nature of the matter, this one, and the particle nature already we know. The wave nature of matter will also come, this one, or it's called like a dual property of the nature, that is called as. Then we'll take some examples here. In depth again we'll focus in the atomic structure, because the electron is a particle. Even that electron what happen will have that wave nature. So what is the wavelength of the matter waves associated with the electron revolving in an hydrogen atom? That in atomic structure we are going to work out that one. So today's class will just focus on the theoretical aspects. Tomorrow we'll work out the numericals. So both theoretical ideas I'll introduce for radiation pressure as well as matter waves. Now the radiation. So already we have in photoelectric effect. In photoelectric effect we have seen radiation is incident, or so radiation means here light. When light radiation is incident on a emitter, then the photoelectric effect occurs. Then the emitter what happen will eject a photoelectrons. So what will happen to the electrons, the photons which are incident on emitter? So we don't get a perfect absorber or perfect reflector. A part will be absorbed, a part will be reflected. I think this was the thermal radiation. Go back. Perfect black body, it will absorb all the incident radiation. Then what is the practical body? So practical body or ordinary bodies, a part of radiation will be absorbed, a part will be reflected. This one. So will this particular radiation which is incident on a surface, will it exert any force? Will it exert any force? Sir, why? How come force? How that radiation can exert a force? So we'll do one thing. You stand in sunlight. Then, so you feel warm, no? What actually happened there? The photons, they come, they strike. So they'll interact with the surface of skin. Due to that interaction, what happened? What all the energy that was associated, that will be imparted to the molecules of the skin. And once it gets energy, that one happen will it will be generated and will feel warm up. And we know the photons is associated with momentum. So you go back to the collisions. So in collisions, so you go back to the basic idea of collision. So we know a particle moving with a velocity u, it goes and collides with a wall. This is a fixed wall. After collision, let it rebound with a speed u. Then what is the change in momentum? 2mu will write it. Then that collision occurs for certain duration of time. So therefore, definitely the force exerted by the wall on the particle or by the particle on the wall should be delta P by delta T. Shall we bring the idea of the force like this? Rate of change of momentum should be the force. So will this particle exerted any force on the wall? Yes, it is. Similarly, the wall exerted any force on the particle? Yes, it is. Same thing shall we go for photon, because even if there's a surface, the photon will be associated with a momentum, and the momentum of photon is how much? H by lambda. If the photon is reflected back, then will this photon will exert any force on this? Yes, it will be. The change in momentum of photon per unit time should be the force exerted by the photon on the wall. So earlier for particle, no? His surface, perfect, so like a perfect absorbers. So black body. If a radiation is incident on a black body, the black body what will absorb it completely. So their surface can absorb photon completely. Similarly, instead of this, the photon is incident on a surface and it is absorbed completely. Then also happen there'll be change in momentum. In this case, what is the change in momentum here? 2h by lambda. Getting this one. So in this case, what is the change in momentum? H by lambda. I think it's not question of one photon. No? When a beam of light is incident, when you go for beam of light, definitely millions of photons will come and strike. So continuously the photons will be striking. So the number of photons striking, the change in momentum per unit time will become the force. So I'm just slowly building up the idea from here. Due to change in momentum per unit time is the force. So here the photon is reflected. Here the photon is completely absorbed. This photon now will exert a force on the wall, or so like on the surface here. Rather than saying wall, call it as surface. So continuously the photons will be incident. So continuously the photon will exert a force. So continuously there will be change in momentum. The change in momentum per unit time is what I'll get expression for force. That force per unit area will become pressure. That pressure I'll call radiation pressure. Able to make it out, this one. So now how to calculate how many photons are there in a beam of light? I think already we have made some background in the photoelectric effect. If a beam of light, if a beam of light, just initial derivations are a little bit difficult for you. Once you get that formulas, no, the rest of everything is application, very easy, that one. So as we assume that it contains photons, and these photons, the associated momentum, let lambda be the wavelength and let I be the intensity of the beam. So this is beam of light. How many photons are, let area of cross section of this beam, let it be area of cross section of beam, let it be E. How many photons are present in this beam? Can we calculate? For a beam also I brought formula. Can you recollect here? Basically, number of photons should be the power of the beam by the energy of photon. What earlier we had power by energy of photon, the same thing, power of the beam by energy of the photon. Before that, what is the intensity? I think we should have a basic definition clearly. Intensity we define like this. Energy flowing per unit area, per unit area, per unit time normally. Energy flowing normally per unit area. I'll bring normally here. Normally per unit area per unit time. That is the basic. I think it will go like this. U, energy that is flowing per unit area per unit time. This energy flowing per unit area flowing normally per unit time is what we call power. Any strict condition, this power, they should flow normally through the surface. So that energy flowing normal, power flowing normally per unit area will become intensity, and with this one. So strictly that flowing normally is very important. I think already in waves and sound we have come across. So we use to define like this, no, the intensity, energy flowing normally per unit area per unit time. Similarly, how many photons are emitted by the source? Can you remember this? Power of source by energy of photon. Power of source, let it be, and this will be Hc by lambda. No, how many photons are present in a beam of area of cross section E, then it's having intensity, because what is the power of the beam? Let's call P, or P naught you call it, because power P, again you'll get confused with the pressure. So how many photons are present in this beam has to be calculated. So shall I go for the same thing? Number of photons, photons flowing per second or moving per second, anything it will be. So that I'll call n. This should be equal to power of the beam by energy of photon. Agree this? So P naught. P naught, let me keep as it is. Energy of photon is Sc by lambda. So P naught lambda by Sc. Now, what is intensity of a beam? We define like this. Power flowing normally per unit area. So this I'll write it as Ia lambda by Sc. So this will give number of photons incident, or better say than flowing, or number of photons flowing per second through that area, the area of cross section. How many photons per second will cross through that like a area A is given by this particular formula. Okay, the base of this entire, the whole chapter, radiation pressure. So it all depends upon the area of, A is not amplitude, huh? Area of cross section, area of cross section of beam A. The wavelength of the light, intensity of the light, HCR constant. This will give number of photons flowing per second. I think per second is very important. Okay, now this particular beam of light is incident on a surface. That surface is going to absorb this beam. Let me put. So rather than beam now, so let me go for a surface here. So I'll keep a surface. So let this be the surface here. What is the, look at the surface? It's having area of cross section A, which is less than the area of cross section of the beam. So I'm now what shall I do? Number of photons incident on a surface per second. So shall I the same formula? Area of cross section of beam is earlier. See, beam can come out with of any area, no? So if the area of cross section of the beam is less than that of surface, then area of cross section of beam you have to take it. If area of cross section of the beam is more than that of surface, then in the formula here you have to put area of the surface here. Now you have to be careful here now. What did you see? Here area of cross section I defined it. Now look at the area of cross section of the beam, more than that of that one. So now only a part of beam will be incident on surface. No, now this A will become area of surface here. So these are the photons. The photons are here. Let the surface absorb the incident photons. Is it all the photons are incident? No. Only the one which will lie in this region are incident here. So this is surface absorbs the photon. Then the photon, it was having momentum. There's a photon. I'll put like this. So what is the momentum of this photon? H by lambda. The momentum of this photon is H by lambda. So the momentum of photon is what? H by lambda. So then the photons, what happened is absorbed. So it was moving, and finally what happened? It will lose all its energy. Once, so what happened? It loses energy. That one, no question of photon itself is existing. So what happened? The momentum of photon changed here. So how to calculate that particular force? So this is what number of photons incident per second. So how to calculate the force exerted by the incident beam on the surface is, the formula will be F is equal to change in momentum of photon into number of photons incident per second on the surface. But we know change in momentum is dp, no? From where to bring that time, I think we have here number of photons per second, no? This is, so I'll multiply what is the change in momentum, h lambda, h by lambda. This is a change, it is the absorbed, no? It was moving and came to rest. What is the change in momentum? H by lambda. Then what about the number incident per second? So Ia lambda by Sa. This is momentum is there here. Number of photons incident per second. So change in momentum into number by per second. So I think that should be the force only. H by lambda get cancelled. So I'll get IA by C. What is AE? Area of cross section surface here. Now the force exerted by the incident beam per unit area will become radiation pressure. How do this force will act? Normal to the surface. This should be. So this should be equal to I by C. This is called like a radiation pressure. I think this approach will help you a lot in numericals. In some books, they have shown by another method. So, okay, fine. Definition wise, okay. But numericals, when we go, no, because we'll take again this numericals back to the mechanics. Because there's a pressure force, no? So I'll bring all the mechanics problems. This force, can it make the body to accelerate or just only theoretical thing? Yes, this force can accelerate a body. So with a beam of light, can I make a block to move? Yes, I can make a block to move. Now let's introduce here only so that you will get very good application problems. So there's a block of mass m I kept here. So then a beam of light is incident. There's a lambda. I think only lambda is needed, no? And the intensity is needed. Lambda also not needed. The intensity of beam is I. Area of cross section of block, let it be L. That one side length is L. So clear this. So how do how do you confirm that there will be a force acting it? Let me keep it on rough surface. I can measure friction by some means. What I see that I can notice that a friction is acting, and it's at rest. So from where this force is coming? So definitely the incident beam. This is beam of light. This beam of light is what exerting a force. How to calculate that friction? So we know. So this will be. It's a test static friction. It will be acting here. So the force exerted by the radiation. This should be equal to IA by C. I'll keep on increasing intensity at one particular intensity. The block starts moving. So this shows that there's some sort of like this beam is exerting force. No, first initially for lower intensities, so when the block will be attached. As I keep on increasing intensity, the static friction will also increase. So once the friction acting, the applied force becomes greater than limiting. No, the block starts moving. So this shows that this particular beam of light, which is incident, is exerting a force. So we are assuming that it will absorb. Look at C. Look at C. What is C? 3 into 10 to the power of 8. 10 to the power of minus 8 will come. No. What is the intensity of beam? 1 watt, 2 watt per meter square, 3 watt, 10 watt, 100 watt. That's all. No. 100 watt bulb we have in our home. And that too, the intensity of beam, there should be. It will be very small. Practically means, sir, is it sunlight exerting force on me? Yes. Definitely yes. Sunlight is exerting force on. Sunlight is exerting force on our apartment, sir. Yes. You are moving in a car. Sunlight is exerting force on the car. Yes, it is. It will be of, but we don't feel because the C is there in denominator, no, 3 into 10 to the power of 8. And intensity can be say like a 1 watt. And what is the intensity of sunlight on the surface of the earth? It's very of smaller, 10 to the power of minus 3, no? So definitely this force will be negligible. I'm just giving some hypothetical problems. If high intense beam, if you take it, no, then you can feel some sort of, you can move that particular block here. You can see in the movies, no, they will, without in contact, they will push it. From where they'll push, I think in some Western movies, you might have seen, no? So they'll push. So how do they able to push? Because of radiation pressure. So they will produce such a high intensity. Yes, maybe they have powers, mystic powers. This is surface absorbs incident photon completely. Absorbs incident photon. No. Next, after this, if it is a perfect reflector, so we don't have perfect absorber. This is again ideal because usually we'll get a surfaces which will absorb partially, which will reflect partially. And next, if it is same thing, if the surface, if it reflects completely, then what is the change in momentum? 2h by lambda. So let's take example here. So there's a beam of light. So let this be a surface. Area of cross section, let it be that one. So here the photons are there. So let me show that an incident photon it will get reflected. One of the photon, I'll just show it. So it will be reflected back. What is the change in momentum of photon? 2h by lambda. So directly let me go for the force experienced by this surface. F equal to change in momentum of photon into this will be number of photons incident per second, and there'll be incident normally. There's a condition. So what is the change in momentum of photon? 2h by lambda. And this should be equal to how much? IA lambda by HC. So this will be 2IA by C. So what is the radiation pressure? 2I by C. So like that, the incident light will exert a force that's called a radiation pressure. So there's a beam of light. Why do we say mobile? We should not keep beside our head and sleep. It should be kept at a certain distance. Any reason for that? Because mobile will have antenna, and that antenna, what will happen? Will radiate power, and anything will happen. Yes, maybe the radiation will be incident. Of course, you look at the pressure, but you look at the cells, or you look at inside the cell, or look at the brain cells. They are very sensitive, here. So will it exert any force? Yes, it will exert a force. Will there be any impact on it? That's what the research is going on. But as such, what I know, the intensity matters a lot here. See the constant. The intensity matters a lot. So just you keep some at a distance of 1 meter, problem solved. Mobile, you can keep it in bedroom or select in house anywhere. But when you are sleeping, because we sleep for 6 or 7 hours, that one. So for that particular long duration of time, will be exposed to intensity. So therefore, it's kept nearby it. It may cause some long-term damages to the health, that one. So therefore, just if you keep it at a distance of say like a half meter, that is enough. So don't keep nearby your head, inside below the pillow or beside that and sleep the mobile. Keep it just away. So because it all depends on the intensity of the mobile. Because usually if you keep nearby your head, there is some problem is there. That to not one day, like this continuously for 1 or 2 years. If you keep it every day, there'll be some impact. There'll be some parameters come. So what type of disease will come? Will get a aftershocks, means like all of a sudden mood will change, and you'll become hangry. Then depression will start. So all that particular things are there. So still research is going on, but 80% of proof is there that yes, it will have some impacts here. So it's safe that not to keep mobile below the nearby the pillow or that one and sleep. Not advisable. Okay, this is about the when it is incident light is absorbed or reflected. There's a pressure here now. What happens if a surface both absorption and reflection? Because we'll never get ideal reflector, ideal absorber. Partially it will be absorbed, partially be reflected. This is something. Beam of light reflected. So next we'll go for next condition. It is partially absorbed, partially reflected. Incident light so this is surface now. There's a beam of light. It will be partially absorbed and partially will be reflected. So then how to modify this particular formula? Shall we just add up? Now the intensity, let it be lambda wavelength. Power of the beam, let it be P naught. And this is surface. Ordinary bodies. How to modify this formula now? What is the change in, what is the, say, like of all incident beam? So what is the number of beams that are incident on surface? IA lambda by HC, of which what happen, a fraction will be reflected, a fraction will be absorbed, that one. So number of photons incident per second on the surface. So this should be equal to n. This should be equal to n, and how much it should be equal to IA lambda HC. Already we have directly brought it. Is it all the photons that are incident will be absorbed? No, only a fraction. So here we define the material will have absorption coefficient and the reflection coefficient. So what is a absorption coefficient? And what is our reflection coefficient? Different materials, different surfaces will have different values here. And they are not dependent on what? Intensity of beam. They are not dependent on lambda. Again, they are the purely property of a substance, A and R. And then number of photons that are number of photons that are reflected per second. Shall I write nr n into nr equal to n into r? What are these nr? Number of photons reflected per second. Similarly, what is na? Number of photons that are absorbed per second here. Now, due to this two set of things, what a force will be acting here, no? And what is the change in momentum when photon is reflected? 2h lambda. Change in momentum. So is it okay, NR, able to understand number of photons that are reflected, number of photons that are absorbed? I'll write one. Number of photons reflected per second. This is number of photons in number of photons absorbed per second. What is the change in momentum in this case due to reflection? 2h by lambda. Due to absorption, what is change in momentum? And h by lambda. So what is the total force now? The total force due to absorption of photons or reflection of photons, force due to absorption, force due to force due to absorption, force due to reflection. What is force due to absorption? Na into change in momentum. nr into delta PR. Different symbols, different method are used. So since keeping in numericals, I'm using this generalized method. So what is Na? So I think directly we can write it as A into IA lambda SC, and change in momentum is H by lambda. Then this is NR is equal to R into IA lambda HC by 2H by lambda. Solving this, IA by C, A plus 2R. And we know A plus R should be equal to 1. So usually any one quantity, if you know it, you can measure the other quantity. For any surface, this is a generalized equation. A plus R, the sum of absorption coefficient plus reflection coefficient should be equal to 1. So from this, IA by C. So usually absorption coefficient, reflection coefficient will be, in terms of that, will have. So A, what we can write, 1 minus R. So the final formula will be the net force exerted by the incident beam should be equal to IA by C 1 plus R. So what is the radiation pressure? I'll write down LHS here. F by A should be equal to I by C 1 plus R. I think we can justify our answer. We can justify our answer. If the perfectly absorbing surface, then R will be 0, A will be 1. If the perfectly reflecting surface, R will be 1, then what is the force exerted by the incident beam? 2IA by C. So whenever you get any some difficulty, so just cross check once. Even in the some problems, what we do know, sometimes we go wrong due to some assumptions. So we have to cross check it. So if what is this surface? Partially absorbed and partially reflected. It's not a perfect absorber, perfect reflected here. So the radiation pressure is what? We can give this particular formula. This is practically, this is what happens. Even our body open cannot absorb sunlight completely. So to absorb sunlight completely, what we should do? You should apply coconut oil. That's what I think in Ayurvedic clinics, if you go, So there, what will happen there? The photons, what will happen? So once the oil molecules which are there on surface of skin, they will absorb completely. So by applying the oil, what will happen? What we do? We just decrease R and will increase A. That's why in our culture, what we do apply coconut oil to our hairs. Any reason for that? Yes, there's a reason is there. There's a science behind that one. Because when you just in sunlight, no. So the part of the body which will be exposed more to the sunlight is head. And what is another thing, like if you look at in terms of the spiritual science, the photons, you look at the stand in sunlight, stand nearby tube light, stand nearby television, or stand nearby any other sources. No, if you stand in sunlight, what happens? You feel more you are near to the nature, and more positive thoughts will come. This is the best way. Nowadays, I think the depression because of lockdown, no, past earlier 2 months, the depression cases in India earlier was 2%. Because of lockdown, it came to 33 or 35, around more than 30%. Any reason? Because the people are just binded themselves into the home, not exposed to sunlight, will be under depression. What is the depression? Person revolving in same thought. The same thoughts get repeated and you are unable to come out of that thought. That's called like a depression. The science defines in this way. So you just look at the Northern Europe countries, Britain, Germany, all. 40% population will be under depression. Depression is not due to money. Since you are not exposed to sunlight, you'll be under depression. So therefore, so whenever you feel negative thoughts are there, lost confidence, just go stand in sunlight for 10-15 minutes. Definitely what happen, you'll be in better position. So whenever you're depressed, whenever unwanted thing happens, so that one, you just stand in sunlight. So sunlight is the best thing available for us. Instead of doing yoga, I suggest you better go in sunlight. Instead of doing exercise, just stand in sunlight. At least 1 hour per day, we should be there in sunlight. So if you have a provision to sit on terrace and listen, just sit in sunlight and listen. No? Maybe at least your body should be exposed to sunlight. Very important. It's very, very important, not only for you, every human being on earth what happen, at least minimum according to science 2 hours minimum has to spend in sunlight. Even in summer also, at least not in the mid noon, in the morning times or in the evening times you have to spend. Lack of exposed to sunlight is what a lot of problems are there now. Even applicable for me also, not only for you, even for me also, everyone. So sunlight, don't forget, is one of the best friend available. Whether you pray to sun god or not, Surya Namaskar or not. So it's how to be in sunlight. Better play games in sunlight. That's the best thing, no? Better play games in sunlight. Go outside, play that one. So nowadays, I think if you get some half an hour time after lunch, just stand in sunlight here, or anywhere available time you should spend. It's very important. Okay, no, this is about partially absorbed, partially reflected. There's a formula you have to remember. I think nobody will ask you derivation. No, I think what finally matters, if a surface partially absorbs and partially reflects, then what is the radiation pressure? This one. If you know radiation pressure, you can calculate the force also. In applications, we take this one because we'll try to solve some mechanics problems. No, we need force. Any conceptual, the pressure will be asked here. Okay, let's take the next situation. If a radiation is incident at an angle on a surface, okay, look at this radiation, it is incident. Let's come for this. So let it make an angle theta with vertical. So this having intensity I, wavelength lambda. If you want to take power P naught. This is the surface. Area of cross section of this surface is A. It is like this. I'm showing plane diagram, and the radiation is incident at an angle. Then we are trying to work out. There's a plane diagram, there's a 3D diagram. Okay, let's get into the thing now. How to calculate the total force exerted by the incident beam. So how you define intensity? Power flowing normally per unit area. So this is the area. So I'll take the projection of it. This is theta. This is theta. This is A. You do one thing, put perpendicular. So this will be A dash. I'll shade it so that will be easy for us. Oh. No, that A dash is what the projected area means. The orientation of the surface, which will be A dash, will be directed normal to the incident beam. So in relation between A dash and so this, so can we write cos theta equal to A dash by A? So A dash is equal to A cos theta. Now, what is the basic definition of intensity? power flowing normally per unit area. The incident beam, it is coming at an angle theta. So therefore the intensity now I should define I equal to P by A dash, not P by A. So the formula, the intensity now should be defined. So what is the number of photons that are incident on the surface? Power by energy of photon. So what is the power? Power we should write, I think P naught, no? So this is P naught. So what is the P naught, no? P naught should be equal to IA cos theta SC by lambda. So IA lambda SC cos theta. Means if you change the orientation, means the beam which is incident normally, okay, let it incident in angle. So what will happen to number of photons striking the surface will change. I think this is very important. How to like a change the means if you change the orientation of the surface with respect to beam, the number of photons striking the surface will change. So I think you have to be very careful. Huh? So they may trouble you with these questions in a photo electric effect. Instead of it is like this, no? And the radiation is incident. If I make orientation like this, what will happen to number of photons incident on it? Will increase or decrease? Should increase, no? Theta, you make it 0, the radiation will be incident normally. And if theta increases, the number of photons incident will decrease, no? So in the photoelectric cell, that one, instead of keeping that emitter, so like keeping that emitter vertically, let it get inclined or let it be get oriented normal to the incident beam. Then the number of photons incident on it will increase. They may trouble you any conceptual question, but nobody will do in lab. Huh? We are not bothered such better stupid things in the lab. This one. So in exams they may trouble you. Even in advance they can ask you. You have to be careful. So how to change the current by changing emitter? But there's a photo cell. If you purchase it, no, it will cost you around 600 rupees. You can't do anything to emitter collector. They're fixed and their orientation is fixed here. Theoretically, I can ask you any of these questions. You have to be careful. Huh? Okay, let's take them now. So these are the number of photons incident per second on the surface at an angle theta on the surface. So what I should call N. Number of photons incident per second at an angle theta on the surface. Surface, what is the area of cross-section? A only. On surface, no. Okay, let's go for what is the change in momentum? H by lambda, because let's go for absorption. Totally absorbs. Now, what is the change in momentum of photon? Should be equal to H by lambda. So what is the force now? Let me write directly. So this is the change in momentum. So this should be equal to delta P into N. H by lambda is equal to IA lambda HC cos theta. So this is the force. How do this force will act? I think we have to be a little bit alert. How do this force will act?
Direction of I.
In the direction of incident beam. This is something very important. So I'll show it here. So this is the surface. The incident beam. In the direction of incident beam is what? This force is acting. So this force F here to show in this direction. I think with respect to this reference line will show it. It will be easy for us. So this should be theta. So you resolve this force into two parts. So this surface now what happened will experience two forces, no? Numericals very important. F parallel, F perpendicular. Tell me how you define pressure again. This is a surface. How we define pressure? Normal force per unit area, no? Or just force by area. So what is F? F cos theta. F perpendicular will be F cos theta. So this is F sin theta. So what is the radiation pressure? We define it as normal force per unit area. So this will be F cos theta by A. What is F? We have this much. So IA cos theta by C. So what is the radiation pressure? Is equal to I cos square theta by C. If it is completely absorbed here. Now what about F parallel? IA cos theta sin theta C. It's very important. If you go for dermatologist, nowadays I think skin peeling, all of you know, peeling, cucumber. So when you peel off the outer layer, they're called a peeler, no? It is called as Peeler. Or any skin cancers come, no? So that particular upper layer of skin has to be a dandruff treatment. We see, no, that one. So what we use, we take laser beam. I'll make the laser beam incident at an angle on a scalp. Let this be scalp. So this tangential force, what it will do, it will try to eliminate that. It will try to remove that one. So with this tangential force, what I can remove that particular dandruff cells, the cells which will cause the dandruff, that one. So that will be removed. So like in skin treatments, what this is widely used here, the laser treatment. With the help of that, all the anomalies, means what all the problems are there in skin, no, that can be taken care of. This F tangential, very important here. Can be asked any general passage, please do aware. And we are interested in radiation pressure. So how much it is equal to this much. So what is the tangential force acting on surface? Tangential force should be equal to F sin theta. This should be equal to IA cos theta into sin theta. This will also exert a force. Again, if I ask you shearing stress, then F parallel by A. So what is the shearing stress on this surface? This is what in the skin treatments, this is widely used here. This is stress. So the radiation pressure, if the radiation is incident at an angle, theta with vertical it is. This is measured. When it is absorbed completely, when incident beam is completely absorbed, this formula is what you have to remember. Radiation or radiation is completely absorbed. Okay, this is about the thing at an angle. Now, if it is reflected, we'll see what changes we can make it. I think number of photons incidence same, no? The change in momentum has to be made some difference here. So I'll write subheading completely absorbed. Okay, now let's go for if the incident beam is completely reflected. So there's a surface, there's an incident beam, yeah, no, lambda, there's a lambda, there's the intensity of the beam. So that this is again that given surface. Numericals, you may get 3D diagram, so be careful. Let's get into the problem. I think the number of photons incident on the surface will be same thing. So I'll directly write it. This should be equal to IA cos theta lambda so IA lambda by HC cos theta. Then whatever the change in momentum should be equal to 2h by lambda cos theta. This is number of photons striking the surface, and this is a change in momentum. So therefore, what is the force? F perpendicular equal to N into delta P. Number of photons striking the surface per second. So this should be equal to IA lambda by HC cos theta 2h by lambda cos theta. So this should be, I think, the everything this will be F perpendicular should be equal to how much? 2IA cos square theta by C. So what is the radiation pressure? Two I cos square theta by C. Tell me how this force will act. This F perpendicular, how do this force will act? Reflected, no? Not only absorbed, reflected. I'll continue the diagram. How this force will act? Just I'll extend little bit. Okay. No. How do this force will act? It should act normally. This don't show at an angle. I think this was the mistakes usually we do. So why not F parallel? You look at the component of this one, component of momentum along x-axis here. So only F perpendicular, F parallel will not be there. So if a beam of light, if it is incident at an angle theta, then if it is reflected, no, then we don't get F parallel. If it's completely reflected, then there won't be F parallel. No shearing stress will be there, that one. With a perfect reflected. Now, I'm using word completely reflected, not partially. Completely reflected, these conditions will come. Any reason why we should put like this? Because see, like this momentum, what happened? You project it vertical, horizontal, no? So what momentum that it is incident, that much of momentum it will leave that one. So therefore, what net change in momentum along x-axis? Zero. So no force. But sorry, earlier you took it. The photons which are incident, what happened? The momentum along y-axis from non-zero made zero. Along x-axis also from non-zero has become zero. That's why change in momentum. That's why there is a force. Able to make it out simplest way. Take help of the collisions idea a little bit. So it will come like this: a particle comes here, it'll get stuck to it. Then what happens? Will there be any force? Yes, there'll be force horizontal as well as vertical. The vertical force will nullify vertical momentum. Horizontal force will nullify horizontal momentum. What happens if the particle comes, collides and rebounds with the same speed? Then no force along x-axis, no, only along y-axis. The similar condition here. Finish. Simplest way of analyzing. Since you know a little bit about collisions, have that idea here. So when a light is incident, when a beam of light is incident at an angle theta on a surface, and if it is completely reflected, no shearing stress will be there on the surface, or no tangential force will act on the surface. Okay. No, if the same thing, the beam of light incident at an angle theta, partially reflected, partially absorbed, then what conditions will come? We'll see here. So I'll take the next condition. Partially absorbed and partially reflected by the surface. Let this be the surface. So let this be the incident angle theta. Incident beam, this is reflected. How we have to do this? Due to absorption, there'll be a force. That I'll show it here. Due to absorption, how the force should be like this. Already we know formulas, no? Directly let's adjust it instead of again that one. Due to reflection, how it will be? So since we made some things clear, no? So this is due to absorption, this is due to reflection. So the total force, perpendicular force on the surface, and this is surface. Area be A, that one. So F perpendicular should be equal to FA cos theta plus FR. because how we define pressure, radiation pressure, normal force per unit area. So what is Fa? Like from previous discussion, cos theta by C. And this should be equal to 2IA. And this is absorption. So that A, I should write it here. Reflection coefficient R, cos square theta by C into cos theta, no one. A, I'm writing it. I'll give another symbol. Please don't again go derive it, since we know already cos theta. This will be reflection coefficient R, and how much it is equal to A cos square theta by C.
2IA.
2 will be there. So IA cos square theta by C, take outside A plus 2R. And A plus R should be equal to 1. So IA cos square theta by C, 1 plus R. So what is the radiation pressure now? Should be equal to F perpendicular by A, should be equal to I cos square theta by C, 1 plus R. There'll be also tangential force. You have to be careful. So what is F parallel? F parallel is Fa sin theta. In numericals, this is very important. Okay, this is about the theoretical background. This is on the plane surface. If a curved surface comes, we'll see tomorrow in the numericals itself. I'll see that rather than discussing directly, we'll take like if a beam of light is incident on a cone, what to do? If a beam of light is incident on a sphere, what to do? It's better to, for every different shaped surfaces, better to analyze, because you might have seen partially reflected, partially that one formula change, So always there's a basic method. What is the approach? Number of photons striking the surface per second. Is it the beam of light incident normally or at an angle? That's what you have to check it. From that, you should calculate number of photons incident. Then you should calculate the force. How do force will act? The force will act in the direction of incident beam. Why? Due to reflection, there won't be force. So the concept is simple, no? The incident photon here will exert a force like that. The reflected photon also what happen? Will exert force. So horizontal force what happen? Will get cancelled out. Only the net force will be downward due to reflection. Due to absorption, it will be there in the direction of incident beam. Due to reflection, it will be only along the normal. You can say not along the incident or reflected, along the normal here. This is the normal. I think in exams, nobody will ask you all this derivation. You must know how to utilize these formulas in different situations. So I just shown everything. So in the application problems, we are supposed to think like this here. Now this particular, can it, along with spring force, friction as shown, even this beam of light, there's a block is there. I'll connect two springs. Then I'll make a radiation incident on it. And then what is the compression in the spring? So this will absorb. This will absorb. So that I think you can apply formula. No? So 2kx should be equal to radiation pressure into area. What is the radiation pressure completely absorbs? I by C. So what is the compression of the spring? IA by 2kc. Sir, practically possible. I too don't know. This one, but somewhere maybe in equipments anywhere they might have come across this, so that's why maybe numerical has come. So just have an idea. So like this, what happened now? They can bring with any of the mechanics application here. This I'll suspend a rod. Weight mg will act, and it's in equilibrium. Why it's in equilibrium? Because of incident beam. Get ready for all these sort of thinkings here. So this particular incident light, it can set up a torque, it can accelerate a body, it can it can retard a body, it can keep a body in equilibrium. So this, I think, not a rod, it should be a plate. Then it will exert a force. Where to take this force now? Force will act at one point or at all points? Force will act at all points. Then how to calculate the torque? You directly go to the fluid mechanics. If a body is acted upon by force, I think already in at all points, the force will act on not at one point here. And the weight mg will act here. Then you take a strip, there's a plate, you take small strip. So let the force acting here, let it be df. So let this be dx, this is L. Calculate the force acting on this. df is equal to L dx into radiation pressure. Let it absorb. What is the radiation pressure? L dx I by C. This will set up a torque. This will set up a torque. So then torque, net torque should be 0. Torque due to weight, mg into L by 2 clockwise. Torque due to this, integral of df into x. And solve the problem. You must be ready for numericals of this kind. This particular, the incident beam will exert a force. Due to that force, the body will accelerate, the body will retard, the body will rotate also. The body can keep rotation equilibrium. Okay, try to, and he may ask you what is the reaction at that point. Calculate the total force. Here the reaction Ry also will come. Then Ry plus F perpendicular should be called mg. Just the force should not be called mg, that one. So this is about the radiation pressure. So let me introduce to matter waves so that it will be easy for you. Tomorrow we'll discuss application problems on this. I'll start the matter waves. Or better, we'll call this as de Broglie matter waves. So when he first proposed, nobody understood except him.